All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave back again. Of course, talking about real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. So, Joe Rogan acquiesces to Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Didn't expect that, but here we are. Look, Rogan, I don't think wants this battle at this level. He came out and gave a really um, un-Rogan like statement where he apologizes and he basically says that he's sorry for having this content and that he should have balanced content. And like I said yesterday in another video, the equal time portion of this is already oversaturated by all of the mainstream media outlets, all of them. Okay, they have a huge monopoly, by the way, which I think violates antitrust laws. There are all kinds of things that you could throw out at these people and say, look, we need competition. You guys are opinion journalism. You guys have an agenda. And yeah, if it's going to be that way where you can't just get a blank slate of news, meaning tell me what happened, tell me who was involved. That's it. Don't tell me your opinion on what happened or on your opinion of who was involved. Just tell me what happened, all right? But we don't have that anymore. Everything has been politicized. So when it comes to your your medical, your well-being, right? Now everything is politicized. If you're on this side of it, you're probably red pilled. If you're on this side of it, you're probably woke, right? And so these are the only choices we have. But we can't just listen to a doctor tell us based on their expertise in a field what they think about how we should go about doing things. We can't do that anymore. And so Rogan, who apparently likes Neil Young because of some experience he had like 30 years ago at Great Woods. By the way, Great Woods it's now called like the Comcast Center or the Infinity. It used to be Great Woods out in Mansfield. And it was a cool name because it was kind of out in the woods. And so people were like, yeah, Great Woods. And you'd go see a show. I saw 5 shows in 1 week when I was in radio there. And it was a great venue. But Rogan, as a security person, was talking about the lawn. And they had bonfires out on the lawn, which doesn't surprise me. I remember that place. And if you had a lawn seat, you were there for other reasons. You weren't there really to get into the music. I mean, you heard the music, but it goes down the hill and it's far away, and you got to look underneath the pavilion. And it's just, if you're on the lawn, you're there to do some things. And they didn't really crack down too hard on the stuff that was happening on the lawn. And apparently, Joe Rogan had one of those experiences where he was part of the team that was supposed to crack down. But in any event, he tells the story. He drove home and he cranked up Rockin' in the Free World. And so that was his kind of like middle finger to his former employer. I don't know if it was Neil Young playing the show. Maybe it was. I can't remember the story, but the fact that he listened to that song, I guess it was one of those moments. And I've had those moments too where a song will recall an event or help me cope with something that had just happened, you know? And so I get some of that, but Neil Young is not a rebellious guy anymore. Neil Young sold a portion of his catalog to a company that is affiliated with another company called Black Rock, right? And Black Rock right now is pretty much trying to take over the entire planet. They have more political capital and actual capital than many countries combined. And people are just okay with it now as things continue to consolidate. Again, more antitrust laws. Monopolies are bad. I don't like monopolies. The mom and pop businesses don't have a chance anymore. And by the way, Spotify represents a monopoly. There should be other streaming services. Yes, I know Apple Music and YouTube, and there are a few other places where you can go and listen to music, right? But I mean, why does there need to be one? And maybe, you should divide the music from the podcasting industry, right? You would have probably a lot more balance per se if you didn't have these music artists coming along saying, well, I'm going to boycott, take the music off, and you'll have to go listen to the podcast somewhere else. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but right now, these large corporations have way too much control and power. And I'm saying that as somebody who's libertarian, who's conservative in some ways. But I can see this. This isn't going to end well. They're just going to continue to get larger and larger. And that's why you need some oversight is what you need. You don't need censorship. You need oversight in how this stuff is distributed. So Neil Young kind of wins this battle along with Joni Mitchell. They kind of win because, again, I've not heard Joe Rogan wuss out too much since I've listened to his podcasts and just in general his commentary on stuff. I don't hear him wussing out. This was a different Joe Rogan. This was almost somebody who had something prepared, even though it didn't look like he was reading anything, but he knew what he was going to say. And the way he addressed it too, the controversy of the last few days, has made me rethink this, or however he put this together, that he's sorry about hosting these two crazy doctors who have defied the little emperor and his protocol and even his history, right, as a so-called medical professional since the 1980s, which somebody should do. Well, actually, there are several documentaries out there that cover all of this stuff. Many of these documentaries have not been seen by the general public because, of course, the news media they're not going to share this information with you. So you have to go looking for it. And here's the deal. If Joe Rogan is as big as I think he is, he could go anywhere he wants. He doesn't need Spotify. He doesn't need Apple Music. He doesn't need anything. He could build the Joe Rogan platform, and people would probably help him build it. I mean, like I said, call Elon Musk. He'll help you build it, guaranteed. I mean, Elon is getting really frustrated with some of the stupid stuff that's coming out of DC, and he's getting tired. And look, he's got one guy who's got more power than Joe Rogan is Elon Musk, right? And again, this is supposed to be a music channel, and I've strayed into talking about Elon Musk. But at this stage, all of these people are determined. These oligarchs, the people who've accumulated vast sums of money, you're going to be listening to what they have to say because they own us. They basically own everything. And we do our little services, whether it's music, whether it's, going to the store, whatever it is, we have to deal with all of these people who are trying to run our lives. I mean, corporations shouldn't be more powerful than governments. But Neil Young, BlackRock is more popular than most governments. Spotify, at least as popular as maybe a small state, in the union, and I'm sure more popular and more powerful than many third world countries. If you look at the clout that you accumulate in these industries, in these big tech industries, it's enormous. Your influence, incredible. I mean, the way information travels right now, I think individuals have to rethink who they're going to support, how they're going to acquire their content, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's entertainment of other kinds. You really have to rethink all of those things. And I'm on a quest to sort of unplug from a lot of this stuff. But in any event, a lot of tangents there, just saying. Not the most coherent video. All I can tell you, though, is Joe Rogan has kind of wussed out. And, if you're looking for him to be your free speech warrior, your free speech advocate, he does an okay job. And I'm not saying he should block any of those people that he suggests that he should talk to. I don't know who those people are. What I'd rather see is a debate between the one side and the other. That would be a pay-per-view event. Have a lunatic doctor, and you can decide which category that is. I know who the lunatic doctors are versus the mainstream little emperor doctor, right? And see who wins. See who wins. And by the way, the lunatic thing was, I was being tongue in cheek, right? Because that's all you hear. Quack. They're just a bunch of quacks. Okay, let's hear the quack take on the mainstream and see how that all pans out. And then you decide what you want to do with your life and your health, where you want to put your money, what podcasts you want to listen to. All of those things should be up to the individual and not up to the corporation. All right. Anyway, a lot of stuff jumbled in there. Again, I want to thank people for supporting the channel. People still talking about the EC was here, part 1 video. Some weird things going on there with the numbers on that video, the analytics, where people are telling me that the video count is dropping. I can see the correct video total, but apparently a lot of other people can't when they go and look for it. It's quite a bit lower than the actual view count. So yeah, that's a combination of, say, throttling down and making it look like the video isn't as popular as it is. I don't know why they're doing that, people. I don't. I work for, I guess, benevolent dictators, and I have to, again, this is why I use a lot of different terminology during these videos. I've been called out for that. You know, apparently he uses this word, so he doesn't have to actually say what it is. It's called to avoid censorship there, buddy. But anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.